Did you miss me? Because I missed you. And it's that time, y'all. It's time for us to pay for all of this fun we didn't have this month. This is our unstuffing for the third week of August. I usually try to do it bi-weekly, so twice a month. But, you know, life has been lifing with storms and no power and just tornadoes ripping through Illinois left and right. And it's just been crazy. So these are all of the expenses that I have spent thus far, and the month is not over. And let's hop into it. But for those of you guys that are new, I want to say, hey, y'all, welcome to Prestige Cash Club. It's CC, your savings promoter. And here at Prestige Cash Club, we party with pennies and turn your savings into a VIP lifestyle. So join the club and follow for more VIP savings tips and tricks. As I mentioned, I have gone through my 3 credit cards, my Capital One, my Credit One, and my American Express. And before anybody gets nervous saying, CC, really 3 cards? Remember, a credit card and carrying credit card debt is something totally different. I still cash stuff because cash stuffing helps me control my budget, but we're also living in 2026. I order things online, Amazon, etc. I pay things digitally. Some places don't even take cash. And sometimes I'm using my credit cards for points, rewards, convenience, all of the things, y'all. So the difference is I don't allow my credit cards to decide what I can afford. My budget has already decided that. So throughout the month, if I made any purchases on any one of my cards that belongs to one of my sinking funds, I track those purchases. I don't do it real time. Usually what I do is I pull up the credit card statement and I go through it and then I reconcile that way. Maybe I spent $75 on something for the house. So in that case, as you guys know, that $75 may have gone on my American Express, but in my mind, that money is already spent from my home sinking fund. So when we unstuff today, I'm going through, I'm taking out, in this example, $75 from home and putting it toward paying that credit card. Make sense? Get it? Got it good. Cool. So we're just basically moving the method of payment. We're not creating new money because your credit card limit is not a part of your budget. Let me say that again. Let me say that again for the people looking at that available credit right now, like it just got deposited into their checking account. Your available credit is not available income. If my sinking fund has $300 and I charge $500, I can't come back here at the end of the month acting confused about where the extra $200 is supposed to come from. And you know, we have done that. You know, I have been putting the pressure on myself. Remember the last time we were here at this very table on this very slip doing one for July, there was 4 little DoorDash purchases that had creeped up for $100 that I did not have allocated in my eat out from my wallet expenses, which means I had to take that extra $100 from my personal sinking fund, which means that now my personal sinking fund is $100 less on the stuff that I really want to do because I decided to eat it up, literally. So you can't come here like, oh, where did that $200 come from? Baby, nowhere. It came from you. You overspent. And here is the biggest rule. If you're going to cash stuff and you're going to use credit cards, you got to have a system for reconciling those purchases. As I mentioned, I personally go through my transactions and ask, okay, what did I buy? What category does it come? And literally, right, this little cash envelope system. And let me take it out so that y'all can actually see it. Y'all, I done cut this one off. But I actually got this little sheet from Planning with Desiree. If you subscribe to her Patreon, which is only like $5 for the month, she gives you these templates. And it's a little cash unstuffing sheet. And you literally track what you purchased, which envelope it comes from, how much you spent, and then you could do a little check mark once you actually take the money out. And I literally just hole punch it and put it in my happy planner. The biggest question I ask myself is, did I actually have the money that I budgeted for that thing? An example, there is a purchase that I made for the house that I didn't budget. And so what usually happens is, when you see these little dashes here, that's because I know I don't have enough money in that category and I am pulling it from somewhere else. And that's not always bad, right? It just forces you to say, okay, just know you didn't have $100 in house funds to spend on a house. So you really shouldn't have spent $100 on the house. But the benefit of your sinking funds is your money is still working for you. When you're assigning it a job and you're putting it in your categories, you're saying, okay, this money is allocated for these things. But it's not a hard rule for that. So it's still money that's doing a job. I'm just saying, if you're noticing that you are constantly overspending in that area, either you need to save more in that area or spend less, or you can't spend until you've saved the money. Now, I know somebody is thinking, well, why not just use the cash in the first place? Because sometimes I do, but sometimes the card is more convenient. As I mentioned, if I'm on Amazon or Shein or something online, sometimes I want points and rewards because they give you extra points if you use your card or etc., right? And sometimes I don't feel like carrying a bunch of cash around. Remember, cash stuffing is the budgeting system. The credit card is the payment method, and those things are two separate things. Now, one last little warning before we get started. If you are new to budgeting or you are currently struggling with credit card debt, this is not for you. You do not do this. And yes, I'm yelling, all caps, all caps. And I'm saying that because don't start swiping. Remember, the goal of budgeting, the sinking funds, the cash stuffing, is so that we can get control of our spending and control of our budgets. But remember, if you put money on these cards that you can't pay, nobody's paying 29% interest. So you're going to earn $14 in rewards, and then you're going to pay $87 in interest because you couldn't pay the bill off. That math ain't mathing. That's just like sometimes people ask me about my Credit One card. They're like, you use a Credit One card? Well, yeah, you know why? Because over 2 years ago, when I was rebuilding my credit after COVID in life, Credit One was the only person that gave me a card with like $3,000 credit limit. And this is just full transparency. The reality is I don't carry balances on that card. So when people get those cards, they're like, oh my God, that card has a 29% interest rate. Who cares? I don't care if it had a 50% interest rate. That only matters if you are not going to pay your bills down. Think about it like this. Let's do a little calculation. If I spent just $50 on that card and there's a 30% interest rate. Let's do 20 because usually it's like 28.99. So $50, we're going to round up to 29%. That means on that $50 purchase, you are giving them an extra $14.50. So now your $50 purchase just cost you $64.50 just for leaving $50 on your credit card with an interest rate of 29%. Why? Like, you literally just threw that money away when that $14 could be in your sinking funds and your savings, or actually doing something that you want to do with it. So again, this is not a judging of you or anything. It's just simply saying this is how you could have cards that people feel aren't the greatest card. You could have cards, as you can see, I have an American Express, I have a Capital One, I have a Credit One. To me, again, this is just available credit. And you know what? It's great for my credit cards, because as I continue to use these cards, as I continue to keep my utilization low, my credit is constantly going up and down like hockey sticks in a positive way, not in a negative way. And again, I'm not giving these people extra money, but I am utilizing credit cards to their full potential, getting rewards, miles, all of the things, and using the benefits from it. So just get comfortable managing your budget first. You can cash stuff traditionally, use your debit card, and even you can create a digital sinking fund. So once you know you are past that and you can use your credit cards without overspending, then you can decide whether using credit cards strategically makes sense for you. Because again, the goal is not to show you know how to use a credit card. The goal is just to stay in control of your money. Simply track your purchases as you go, keep your receipts, and use an app. I'm going to add my Fetch Reward. Use Fetch Rewards because you literally just, from the purchases you buy, you scan your receipts and you earn points, and they literally give you gift cards, free gift cards to buy stuff. I literally have earned $200 in gift cards just this year from scanning my receipts, inviting friends to Fetch, and literally that's it. Literally that's it. But your budget planner, whatever works for you, to track your purchases and know that when you reconcile, you don't forget what you bought. You know, because you had those little random purchases like my DoorDash, or like that random purchase of $42.87 that pops up and you're like, oh my God, somebody stole my card. Then realize, oh no, that was me. That was Five Guys, right? Or something crazy, right? So again, these are just tips on how you continue to do this in a digital world. Without further ado, we jumping right in. Let's see what damage I have done for the month of August, and let's get these cards paid. So I tried my best, y'all, to organize all of the purchases. I've color coded them so I know which dollars go to which card. So I know right now we're pulling $274 out of for our Capital One. We're pulling $785 for our Credit One, and we're pulling $1,600 for our Amex. We got our binders on the side. Let's jump right in. We're going to start with our bills binder because, baby, there's a lot of bills to be paid. All right. So, and I also mentioned to you guys, I am going to do a video about getting month ahead. But as you can see here, this first one for phone bill, and I put a little note here that says September and October. So I just paid $110 for my phone bill, and that's for my September and October bill. So remember, I'm usually always a month ahead on my bills. So this is literally an example how this phone bill is due on August 18th, which is actually Wednesday today when I'm filming this. And I've just paid $110 for September's bill of $65 and October's bill of $65. So now we're going to go into cell phone and we're going to pull out 110. So 50, 70, 90, 110. All right. And so left we have 20, 30, 40, $50 left in cell phone. And look, the November bill is only $65 and we already have money left over for that. And let's check that off. This goes to our Capital One. Also in this binder is our DoorDash subscription, which is $10 a month. And so that's actually the money that they charge me to actually be a DoorDash member. So we're going to pull out the $10 for that. And in subscriptions, we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 10, 15. And as you guys know, we need about $200 a month to pay all of our monthly subscriptions. And this does not include annual subscriptions. This is just monthly subscriptions. And my low priority sinking fund is where those go. And the reason why I do this like this, because as you guys know, here's my Amex, here's my Capital One, and here's my Credit One. I'm going to move this cash into these folders, and then they stay in there until I take it back to the bank, which will be Friday. Also, we did have one DoorDash purchase for $12, and that's actually going to come out of our buffer. And we're going to take $15. And you guys know I round up. So we have $20 left in our buffer. And literally our buffer is just that. Any unexpected bill purchases, if a subscription went up a couple of dollars, I'll pull it from our buffer. Or any random miscellaneous thing that I need to cover. Cash stuffing supplies. And so this is some new envelopes and stuff that I bought. That is going to be $40, and that should be the last. No, we got a couple more. That's going to come out of our hobbies. We will come back to that. Let's see, do we have anything else for this one? No, we don't. Okay, let's put this to the side for a second. Go to our low priority. And here's our hobbies. And we need $40 out of hobbies. Fingers crossed. 20, 30, 40. And hobbies has $5 left. And y'all, I bought some ink and envelopes. Remember I told y'all about those plastic envelopes that are in my holiday binder? Yeah, those I had to get those out of there. Okay, we also have some office bins that I purchased for the office, and those are coming out of our Amazon section, which is in the back of our high priorities binder. So we're taking 20, 30, 40. And last but not least, as you guys know, I am a commissioner of a couple of football leagues, and I bought some stuff for our draft day, etc. Remember, I showed you guys my yellow football binder. This is exactly why, right? So right now, I have $120 in stuff that I bought for football season, and I didn't budget for it. So now I have to figure out how to replace this money, because the reality is this is a perfect example of spending money that you haven't budgeted for. So where does it typically come from? My personal sinking fund and Ish Happens, which is our buffer. So we have, which we've been doing really good, y'all. We should have $440 in my personal sinking fund. And why don't we do half and half? I'm going to take $60 from my personal sinking fund. So let's do 20, 40, 60. And let me update this tracker. So we have 1, 2, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 300, 50, 60, 70, 80, 380. All right, and we're going to take the remaining $60 from our Ish Happens. And Ish Happens is, you know, this is my true buffer of if things pop up unexpected, this is my little rainy day fund. We're going to take $60 out of here. Let's do a 50, 50, 50. You know what? When I edit, when I say I can't stand the way I say 50, is it 50? 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 40, 60, 70. So we still have $470 after we took the $60 out. All right. And that, just like this is a prime example. What I tell y'all all the time. When I'm telling y'all something not to do, I'm literally saying, learn from my mistakes. So now we should have 120 here. So we have 50, 70, 90, 110, 120. And as I mentioned, we've had some terrible storms here. And so I bought some emergency supplies, and I'm actually going to take that from our emergency fund. You know, like some extra flashlights and batteries and things like that, just to support us as we've been having a lot of power outages, etc. And we need $32 from this one, looks like. And y'all know I round up. So let's do 20, 35. So now we should have $19.95 minus 35, $19.60. And we'll double check that. We have $1,000 in our high yield savings account. We have $200, so that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 40, 60. Perfect. All right, y'all, let's see if we have everything we need. So everything in this cash tray should hopefully total $274 for our Capital One. So we have 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 2, 20, 40, 60, 260, 70, 80, 90, 110, 20, 35. So we're over. There's also some pending transactions that have not posted that I did incorporate that will be posting to that card in the next day or so. All right, so let's just, oh, and this also goes here. So we have 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 2, 20, 40, 60, 80, 280, 3, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 360, 365, 370, 375, 380. $100 over. All right, we're going to put that in our Capital One. And this is ready to go back to the bank to pay off this card. And now we're moving on to the next card. We have house stuff, which I made a purchase, but I actually paid that with my debit card. And that was a $75 purchase. And that's going to come from our house stuff envelope. So that's going to be 20, 40, 60, 85, and we owe this one 10. So we're going to put this in the back, and this will go back to my account because I use my cash for that. And I don't have a color for that one. I'm just going to check this one off. Purple. So I know that's mine. Okay. Now we are moving. Let's move to our Credit One card. So here we had our date night. I treated this time. And we're going to pull $100 from our low priority binder. And I'm going to see how much. Because it was over the amount that I usually budget in my wallet, that's why we're pulling it from our sinking fund. So there's only $25 here. So the rest will come. So we have the $50 from our wallet. We have the $50 from our wallet for date night, plus 25 from his personal savings. And so now I owe another $25. So let's go back to my sinking fund. And I'm going to pull $10 out of here. And you know what? Since this goes back to my account, rather than taking it back to the bank, this is what we're going to do. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me take $10 out of here. $10 goes back into house stuff. So let's put that in there so I don't forget. And now, rather than taking this back to the bank, which is still my personal account, I'm going to add this back to my personal. So 20, 40, 60, 85. We owed 75, which is why I took the 10 out of here. And so let's add 75 back in. Y'all, I keep looking for my calendar, and it's holding my 380 plus 75. So we're back up to 455. And we're going to need it, y'all, because we got to come back to this binder again. So let's just add this in, and let's make sure we still have 455. So we have 1, 2, 20, 40, 60, 80, 3, 20, 40, 60, 410, 420, 430, 450, 455. And that's what we're supposed to have, 455. See, sometimes it works out. All right, that one is done. Which is credit one. That's this one. All right, gas. Now, remember I told y'all we've been waiting to use these gift cards. But as I mentioned, we've been having crazy storms here. And people have been waiting in line, selling out gas stations, fighting over gas. So I was out in a different suburb where there was no issues with their lights and all of the things. And so, but it was not the gas station that I had a gift card for. So I wanted to make sure I had gas. So I went ahead and put gas in my car using my card. So we're going to pull this from our bills binder, from our gas sinking fund, because remember, I had already repurposed the money in our wallet. So we didn't have $50 in our wallet for gas because we were waiting to use the gift card, but I couldn't get to that gas station. So let's go back in our bills binder. And we're going to go to our gas buffer. And this is exactly why we have a gas buffer, y'all. Our gas buffer is for any time that gas has gone up or we have anything unexpected. So look, we only have $20 in our gas buffer and we need 55. So we're going to go now back to our buffer, which I know only has 20. That's 40. So we need an extra $15. And that's going to come from our emergency fund. And I'm taking it from emergency fund because this was a result of basically us having a national disaster. So I'm going to take the $15 from here. Do I not have any more change in here? Okay, let's put in a 20 and let's put in a 20 and we'll take a 5. Okay. And let's deduct $15 out of here. We're going to say gas. And we know it is, y'all. So, well, 1,200 in high yield savings, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 45. Drop the money, y'all. All right, we got our insurance that we went ahead and paid early. And this is going to come from our bills binder and our 6-month insurance. So let's go to our bills binder. And we're going to go to car insurance. And we need $306, so $310. So now we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 90. And the rest will come from our 6-month insurance. And now we won't have insurance due until the next round of premium is needed. That was 90, 100, 2, 300, and 10. I'm going to put a 20 and take a 10. So now we have 1, 2, 20, 40, 50 in our 6-month insurance. And we deducted 210. No, 220. So, y'all, we had a Bears outing. I might post a picture. If I can remember to post a picture, I'll drop a picture in. We had so much fun. You guys know I'm a Green Bay fan, but I love going to Bears games to troll them. They were playing the Cleveland Browns. It's preseason, so I went to see Shador. I had my watch all ready for my, I got time for that. Unfortunately, there were no touchdowns from the Cleveland Browns. Their defense sucked, made the Bears look good. But we had so much fun at this outing. And this is another example of, we went to this outing. I put, of course, everything is digital when you go to the football stadium. So it had to go on my card. This is, again, why I started my football binder, because stuff like this would have come out of my football binder. But today is going to come out of my personal sinking fund. So we have 180 that we need. And I'm going to take 20, 40, 60, 80. So 180. But this is the type of stuff I want to use my personal sinking fund on, right? Not just DoorDash. I want to be able to go out and do the things that I want to do. And this is why you have a personal sinking fund. So we have 455 minus 180. So we should have 275 left. Let's make sure. 1, 20, 40, 60, 80. See if we can count it with this 50. 1, 50, 70, 90, 210, 230, 40, 50, 65. 265. I'm $10 short. Oh, y'all, I never put the 10. We owe ourselves a 10, y'all. Oh, no, I didn't deduct the 10. We didn't deduct the $10. Okay. Another one down the drain. And last but not least, we had Dunkin', and that $5 is coming from our wallet. Let's go to our wallet. And this is our remaining change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's done, y'all. So we should now have, oh wait, I got one more charge. AT&T. We need AT&T for my bills binder. This AT&T bill is not due until the 1st. I paid it for September already. So the next bill is not due until October. So again, another example on how I personally get a month ahead. So we're going to go into our AT&T folder, which is our internet. And we need $90. 20, 40, 60, 80, 90. And we have $10 left. So when we start saving for this one, again for internet, we're saving for October. That should be it for our credit one. Let's check how much money we got. It should be $785-ish. So we have 1, 2, 3, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85, 20, 40, 60, 86, 20, 40, 60, 80, 7, 10, 20, 30, 735. We're short. Oh, here it is. This is my $50 I'm short. So there was medical, y'all. We need $50. I'm sorry, we need $30 from medical. And this was for literally a copay that I had to pay. And this comes in our bill binder. So from medical, we need $30. And y'all, we've been doing so good on medical. We haven't really pulled anything out of here this year. So we should have $530. And look at that. Perfect. $30. So that should put us right back at $500. 818. Let's pull out the 30. So 20, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In medical. And then we took my godson to see Paw Patrol, and I purchased some tacos while we went to the movies. And so I'm taking that out of giving, since that was a treat, a gift, if you will. And it's going to be $20 out of giving. $20, $40, $60, $70, $80, $90. Okay, y'all. So now we should be squared away with our credit one. So let's add this up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85, 20, 40, 60, 86, 20, 40, 60, 87, 20, 10, 20, 30, 7, 50, 60, 70, 5, 75. We're $10 short, y'all. But I was also over. So I'll figure out where the extra $10 is. I think we did everything right. I think when I was moving money out of my personal, remember I was $10 off. I might have messed up there. I'm sure I'll catch it on editing, but we'll find the extra $10 and put it in there. All right, so this money is ready to go into our credit one envelope. And as you can see, this is why I keep these little pins on here. It can get a little thick until this goes to the bank. And last but not least, we're working on our Amex envelope. We purchased some ink for our cash stuffing. This is going to either come out of Hobbies or House, if possible. Let's see what's available. And we need $35. So this one only has 10. So we're going to deplete House. And then we're going to go to Amazon because we already know Hobbies is depleted. And we're going to get $25. 10, 25. Okay, so this should be 35. Let me check. 10, 20, 35. And y'all, before I take this money back to the bank, I am going to do a condensing so I can try to get any small bills out of my sinking funds and keep my good bills and give them back any bad bills that I have remaining. I purchased some cute little clothes, and we know that our Amazon doesn't have that. So I'm going to have to pull this out of my personal sinking fund. So 120. And we should now have $145, 50, 70, 90, 110, 20, 30, 45. I bought some house stuff for the house, and as you guys know, this is the category that has been the bane of my existence right now, which is house stuff. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm spending like crazy for the house, but 105 has to come from our buffer. And while I'm in here, I'm going to pull out $40. So we're going to pull out 145 from here. 145. And this is what happens, y'all. We just overspend sometime. And that's the reality. And this is where you have to sit with yourself and say, was it worth it? And if it was, great. You got the money, move it around. But if it wasn't, this is where you hold yourself accountable. So we have $325 left in Ish Happens. And let's make sure. 1, 2, 3, 25. Perfect. I believe the rest of this stuff is bills. So let's see. So utilities, we paid our utility bill for August and September. And remember, my utility bill is the only one that I'm not 2 months ahead on. So $465 is coming from our utilities. And because I paid early, when we get paid Friday, the remaining will come out of here. I just kind of did it early. So then when we're budgeting for utilities, we're budgeting for October. So we have 150, 70, 90, 210, 230, 250, 60, 70, 85. 1, 20, 40, 60, 82, 50, 60, 70, 85. 285. And our bill was nice and high because we have had to run the air like crazy because it's been hot, it's been humid, and the weather has been crazy. So I'm not going to cross this one off, but I'm going to put a little check here because I have half of it, but I'm going to know I got to come back here and put the remaining amount. Remember, we talked about the second cell phone that I have. So I've already made 2 payments for the month of $89. We might as well say $90. So $180. This should be $180. And remember, we're keeping that in our car envelope because we don't have a car note and we just need this money in here temporarily. So we are taking out 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90. And remember, we're still going to make an extra payment. So that's why this money is in here like this. So for August, we're going to make an extra payment of an extra $150. So we need to add another basically $100 to this because we want to pay this bill off in about 90 days so it doesn't gain any extra interest. So it's 0% interest for 90 days. So that's my goal. Walmart. So we have our groceries. So I usually order my groceries and then the money from our wallet, I put it in here until it's time to move it. So we need $200 out of our grocery fund. So we have 50, 70, 90, 210, 30, 40, 50. And when we stuff our wallet on Friday, the remaining money will come here and go into our Amex. And this money is for our September bill. Our August bill has been paid. That one is due literally tomorrow. And so I'm stuffing this one so that we can go ahead and start paying on those charges that are already pending. Okay, we're moving on to our subscriptions. We got a bunch of them. So to make this simple, as you guys can see, all of my subscriptions have been popping out. They're on my Amex card. And actually, I'm going to be moving this to one of my other cards because I just want it all condensed to one area so that it can just hit that card. I can see subscriptions and then take the whole amount out. But sometimes I like to see what are the subscriptions that's coming out. So Netflix, Google, our car detail, our car wash, our YouTube Premium, our Chat GPT, etc. Right? So let's see what this totals up to. So 45. And remember, I told you guys I was taking car detail and car wash out of my car maintenance. And so I think I'm going to start that this month. So 45, we're going to skip that one. 40 for my CapCut. 15 for my YouTube. 25 for my chat. So we have 125 coming out in subscriptions. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, $15. And we are $10 short. But because this bill is not due yet, I'm literally budgeting the pending amounts. We'll make sure that extra $10 goes in. And you know what? I'm just going to leave this one right here off. Oh, no. Yes, we'll have it because you know what? I will bring it from 40. I got to take 40, 72 out of our car maintenance. So let's go to car maintenance. And let's just take out 75 for our detail and our car wash. And you know what? I'm going to put 100 in. And I'm going to take 25 back out. So now we should have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now high yield savings. 5, 6, 7, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 8, 15. We should have 815. 990 minus 75. $919, sorry. Okay, y'all. So I have 2 pending ones that are still, because remember I told you I paid the AT&T in advance. So this is literally the October bill that is already paid. And so I'm not going to put this into the cash tray because remember I told you this is Amex bill for September 20th. These are already pending because this AT&T bill is due on September 1st. But remember, you also saw AT&T here because I paid it a month ahead. So this is for October's bill. So because that bill would be due on October 1st. So this is the one that already came out that we would have paid. We'll fund this with our next check. And this one is also pending. So for now, I'm going to leave this. So let's see what we have. Y'all, I don't want this video to be terribly long. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 500, 20, 40, 60, 86, 20, 40, 60, 87, 20, 40, 60, 88, 20, 40, 60, 80, 9, 20, 40, 60, 80, 10, 20, 10, 20, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1100, 10, 20, 35. So 1135. And then we have 250 that's pending. And then we have the 85. And then we have the remaining of our utility bill, which is right. And that would be our $1,600, y'all. So somehow, some way, we did it. I hope you guys, I hope this just helps to show you how you can use both. How you have to ensure that if you are going to use your credit cards, you do have the money available. Going through this also allows you to see what you spent. Are you okay with what you spent? Did you overspend in any areas? What do you need to do? Like an example, I'm not doing anything else for house until I store up some more money for house because I have been depleting house like crazy. So this is a reality check for me. We're not buying any more house. Like literally, y'all, I just bought I just freaking bought $10 plugins. Like, it's, again, this is stuff that comes from House Fund. So I say all of that to say, I want you to see how you can use your cards, but also hold yourself accountable. I hope you found this beneficial. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know how you unstuff and reconcile your money for the month, how often you do it, all of the things. And if you find this valuable, give me a little cash emoji in the comment section. And make sure you're following Prestige Cash Club for more savings, tips, and tricks.